For this part of my Best of 2025 series, we are going very large for my favorite action/action adventure games of the year, because there is no way in heck I'm going to try and distinguish between the difference between action and adventure. Well, I hope everyone has brought a snack and maybe some refreshments, because we got a lot of games to cover for this entry. There are just so many really solid action-adventure games to play this year, and the first one is perhaps the most surprising, because I really wasn't following it at all until its release, and that goes to Eternal Strands. What happens when you combine the immersive sim, environmental destruction, interactivity with fighting giant monsters from Shadow of the Colossus? You get just one of the more interesting takes on action-adventure. While the kind of sword or person-to-person combat wasn't exactly the best, it's hard to argue that just flinging enemies off of platforms, taking a rock, lighting it on fire, shooting at an enemy, freezing things, doing all other manner of attacks, kind of made up for the fact that the sword swinging wasn't the most exciting. The different boss fights were amazing to do, and I really like how there was just this kind of a method for you to take them out very easily. This feels almost like if someone were to combine Avatar: The Last Airbender with a Shadow of the Colossus style. And this is a concept that I really want to see get developed further, because there is certainly a lot of room in the monster slaying category for just being able to pick up rocks and fling them at whatever giant golem or griffin or dragon gets in your way. So if you don't mind a little bit of jank with the basic combat, this is a phenomenal concept for a game, and very easy recommendation for everyone to play. Of all the kind of Yakuza spin-off style games, there's only one that I managed to clear, and it is this next pick for action adventure, and that goes to Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, as we play as Majima sailing the not-so-seven seas around Hawaii, being up baddies, getting into pirate battles, cooking, and of course karaoke. It is a great kind of spin-off / follow-up to Like a Dragon, and being more on the action-adventure side certainly helped. And while it definitely feels like it's not going to really turn you on to the franchise as a whole if you're not already a fan, for longtime fans it is just a really solid entry and a great time to once again play as the Mad Dog himself. So if you like your pirating to be extra hacking and slashing and singing, then definitely give this one a play. The next set of picks are all incredibly challenging takes, and the first one is Disaster Arms. This is a Gunstar Heroes inspired, very boss rush, every boss has just crazy patterns for you to learn style game. While the game itself is not overly long, you're going to be making up for that time with just trying to learn how to get through it from beginning to end. This is going to be for the fans who have been itching to play another game in the style of Gunstar Heroes, complete with different weapon types, and of course, very varying enemies of size, proportion, patterns, and more. So if you're in the mood for a challenge and looking for this particular style, then definitely give this one a play, and good luck for those of you trying to get through it all the way to the end. Speaking about old school, our next pick is modern old school, with a beat-em-up roguelike of Absolum. This is the next game from the creators of Streets of Rage 4, and right off the bat, as I said in my original review, I adore the art style for this, as well as some really great music. While the gameplay itself doesn't quite go above and beyond what Streets of Rage 4 did, it's still a very solid entry in the whole beat-em-up franchise. Really great game to play with a buddy. And I really want to see kind of an evolution of this particular style of a roguelike beat-em-up, but expanding the mechanics and design elements. Maybe someday we'll get a Fight and Rage Absolum combination, and I can finally die happily in beat-em-up heaven. So, if you and a friend like to do some punching, kicking, and spell throwing, very easy recommendation for this one as well. We're following up the old school, even more old school, with Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. So this is the latest game from the Game Kitchen, who I always confuse with the Game Bakers, which is not fair that we have two developers with similar style names. But this is a modern retelling of the Ninja Gaiden franchise, going from left, right, up and down, and hacking and slashing your way through very large groups of enemies, doing it as fast and as stylishly as you can. Another game with phenomenal art. I love the detail of the pixel art this game has. And while it does feature different kind of difficulty challenges for those you looking for an easier or harder time, the real test to see if you are a fan for this is, are you willing to replay the game in a extra hard mode, complete with new enemy patterns and boss phases? If the answer is yes, then this is definitely going to be one that's right up your alley. And the modern old school trend continues. For my next pick to Angeline Era, we are still trying to get through this one slowly but surely on the streams and on my spare time, but as we've been going through the Yeast franchise in 2025 and still into 2026, this game attempts to honor that by bringing the bump slash combat into full 3D for the very first time, complete with secrets, map secrets, level secrets, secrets within secrets, secrets that may mean nothing or may mean everything. This is very much a love letter to classic action RPG and action adventure design. And if you're in the mood to do a little bit of bumping, slashing, and finding a lot of secrets, then you definitely want to give this one a play. When I was going through this list individually for each segment, I didn't realize just how many modern retro classic style games we play in the action adventure category for 2025. And we have another one. For our next pick goes to Marvel Cosmic Invasion for even more beat 'em upness. This time being more inspired by the TMNT Shredder's Revenge game from a few years ago, allowing up to 4 players and technically 8 different characters going at once, explore a variety of Marvel environments, really great environmental design, once again some fantastic pixel art, and another solid entry for someone who's looking for a game to play with their friends. Maybe at some point we'll get like a X-Men update to the arcade game, consider how we're seeing so many of these fantastic beat-em-ups. So, if you and up to 3 friends really enjoy your Marvel superheroing, then this is another really great game, and who knows what other beat-em-up properties we're going to see in 2026. Hey, we got a game that's not using pixel art or modern retro for my next entry, and it goes to Promised Mascot Agency. One of the funniest games I've played in a very long time, and essentially the pitch of this game is going back to Yakuza from earlier in this video. What if you played a game that is just one giant Yakuza sub-story or sub-game? That's what this game is all about. And it also features the voice actor of Kiryu in this one, just to really drive that point home. Some very memorable characters. Pinky may be all-time one of the best video game characters ever written. This is one of those games that you're either going to click with it immediately, or you're going to get out of it very fast. It is very specific in terms of its audience, its tone, and its gameplay. If you are someone who, whenever you play an action-adventure game, you have to go around the map and collect every single item, every single MacGuffin, do every little sub-story bonus quest to get those bonus achievements and power-ups, this is going to be the game for you. And if you're looking for a very funny, yet still very heartwarming time, with some incredibly memorable characters, then definitely give this one a play. For my final pick of 2025, it's a game that, this is going to be one of the titles that I wasn't quite sure where to fit it, because we could put into RPG, could put into adventure, but it's still, you're doing a lot of action along the way. So, it gets the nom here, and that is Freeride. This is a kind of personality, choices matter, choose your own adventure game, as you are trying to solve a very strange mystery involving cosmic beings, time loops, and a very special train that ferries the departed to their next life or to the afterlife. But there is a lot going under the hood of this one, and your choices really do matter, as it will lead you down entirely different story paths, completely different outcomes and plots, different chapters, and if you want to see everything this game has to offer, you're going to have to replay it several times. The only complaint that I have is I wish I could kind of speed through some of these stuff that I've already done on repeated plays, but this is a very unique and original game. And it's another one that I feel definitely deserves more eyes on it as well. So this one is for anyone who always bemoaned the fact that when games say your choices matter, that they didn't. Because if you want to see a game where all your choices matter, then you definitely need to play this one. And with that, just one of the very supersized entries from my favorites of 2025 series is done. So what were some of your favorites from this particular style? From the community voting, we had a few picks for some of the games, such as Like a Dragon, Absolum, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, and even South of Midnight got a pick. But for next year, we'll need to get a lot more people interested in the voting. We'll need to figure out some way to get some more buzz going. Maybe we'll do like a giveaway or something to help get people do all those massive votings that everyone likes to do. But again, if you had any favorites of your own that I didn't mention, be sure to leave them down in the comments, and we'll be back for our next entry. We'll probably do one of the shorter ones just to balance things out, as we are still nowhere near the end of my favorite games of 2025. So, take a deep breath, relax, and come back real soon to see what other fantastic games I enjoyed from the year. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and if you're interested in more in my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.